Okay, it looks like we're live. Welcome back to the garage. I've changed my setup a little bit. Make this a little bit bigger. And I can't remember if we're going to, I think we want preferences. Messing with JMRI here. Let's put the screen one. Yeah. Okay. Um, Edit preferences. That's what we want here. Come on. Display. Windows. Let's see if that, we have to restart. That's better. So I've got it really small on my OBS window here, but now at least you guys can see what's kind of going on, hopefully. We can rearrange our, yeah, we don't need icon, decoder type, we've got. That's all good. Okay, we switch our screen cam back over there. I'm going to run this Kato 484 back. We'll do a run by, and then I've got a couple Bachmann steam locomotives that we'll want to check out. Let's see, make sure I can see the chat. I doubt that anybody's going to watch this, but you never know. Well, we're not doing any decoderizing yet. Let's turn on the power to that. Turn on the layout lights. Let's go to decoder or JMRI and we'll monitor the Loconet. Oh, come here. Stick you off over there just so we can see what's going on. And Loconet over TCP. So we've got that running. So I don't have to restart that. Don't forget to restart that. Just in case we want to use the purple hat. All right. We've got our locomotive selected. I rearranged the cameras so the GoPro down here, I found another cable to supply power to it, so I can have it a little further away from the edge where I had it. Oh, come here, you. So gives you that sort of a view. And then this one, I raised the life cam. I raised up above the layout. So I will say that this little Union Pacific 484 is a pretty good looking and awesome pulling locomotive. Do we need to be off to the side a little bit here? We can do that. Maybe keep our height so we're not running into anything, but get us off so we get kind of a side shot. Maybe. Up a smidge more. There we go. I know they're not ideal camera views, but turn on the headlight and let's do a slow creep. Now, can we see it coming up to the GoPro here? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way the tuning went on this Kato. Before it was a little quick and jerky off the, jackrabbity starts. This has made it pretty nice. You can really control the locomotive and give it some nice operation. Okay, well, that's all the room we have with that many cars. Let me get the packaging for this. It's always such a challenge to pick up and get put away. Oh. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this packaging. Oh boy. It's got to go forward. Come on. Trying to get it back in there. Square, laying flat so it's not smashing details. And it's got to fit in just the right spot. There. Okay. I think that's it. Whew. It's one of those things you get out of the box once and leave it on the layout. Yeah, kind of. All right. Okay, it's back in. Nice. All right, so next up we've got a Bachmann 460. And from what I remember, this thing does not have a whole bunch of programmability to it. So we've got to put the train away. So let's put the train on the farthest track. And once again, Arnold and microtrains, same with KD or Kato and microtrains. They will mate and they will couple up, but they're not automatic by any means. I don't know if I can get the whole train in one shot. I might be able to if I go to the other end. Yeah, we're not going to make it here. Okay, let's run it back the other way. And oh, we're not quite going to make it either way. All right, well, let's see. Let's take everything except for the hoppers into the yard because I think we can get that many. Whoops. Whoops. Forget which way we'll get off the crossing. I think I can get this many. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Put them on the farthest track, and then we'll put the other ones back in, and we'll load up our little steam locomotive. Yep. I like the scale size of the Arnolds are very nice, but they do not want to couple with the micro trains, and that's what 90% of my roster has is micro trains couplers. Come on. Nope. All right. Sorry. 7989 is going to set off to the side. We'll get out. The RS11. Uh-oh. I heard that was something. What was that? We're still alive, I think. Oh. Well, we're not on the track. That's probably what. No. All right, you on the track now? Yeah. Well, a little jerkier. Maybe we can do something about that. Let's look at the uh, programming on this guy. I know we got him set up, and I tore him apart and reconfigured him so that he worked better. But maybe I can tune him up a little more. All right. Let's go back to screen 1. on the programming track. It says it's online. Well, it lost connection. Let's restart this. May have to power down, power it up. I heard a like it disconnected, and maybe that's what it was the JMR right disconnecting. Okay, programming track, identify it. I see stuff changing at the bottom of the screen. There we go. All right, let's look at the speed table. Yeah. Let's read that sheet. There we go. Now you can see it all. All right, so now our step 4 is set to 11. So we want 2 more steps. So let's go 4 and 8. So that gets us a little closer to having all the speed steps have something on them. Might throw off the speed matching a bit, but that's okay. Go back to that one. We don't need to see the JMRI right now. Let's save and close that. Let's put him back on the main. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit less jackrabbity of a start. Okay. So, let's pull the purple hat out here, or at least pull the purple hat car out. If I don't knock it off the rails. And we'll push him back down there. We'll get this guy off the main. Park him on the siding. All right, and we're ready to set up our little Bachmann. It's a Union Pacific 1590. And I have to say, the Bachmann packaging is pretty nice to get the locomotive into and out of. So you just got this little sleeve, there's this little tab. You open up, and it just holds it. I mean, it's easy to set it in, take it back out. I need to turn it around. Whoops, knocked over my van. And dropped the instructions on the floor. That's okay. There we go. Before I set it on the track, I'm going to put it on the programming track. With my railer. Holy cats. That little heater. Guess I'll shut him off for a while. Whew. Getting warm out here. All right. So that's on the programming track. I do not have an entry for him in this roster. Four function decoder. Well, it does have lights on it. Let's pick the four function decoder. I don't know which one it is. 7990. This is UP 1590. Save that. Bachmann. Model is 460. Baldwin 460. Okay. Save that to the roster. read the full sheet on the basic. Oh, except I wasn't watching and I don't have a stop set up, so of course Locomotive goes off the end of the track. All right. I'm going to read that sheet again just to make sure that it got everything right. Wheels are still turning. Okay. Motor. Read the full sheet. Change these. Make them the same as everybody else. And I do not... Oh, it has speed table. Well, maybe we can do this one. Let me set these to 0. I did not remember this as having a 28 speed step speed match. Now, maybe it's got the basic decoder and I don't know any better. Don't use speed table, use start voltage. V start and V max. Well, let's just see what it does, because I'm not sure. Normally on this page you would have min, mid, and max, and it would let you change that and set them all to zeros, but we don't have that on this. Let me read the sheet. It's got 3 volts as start, that's fine. I'm not going to change anything else in here. So let's exit and save. And then we'll switch to programming on the main. We're going to monitor Loconet. We're going to start Loconet over TCP. And we're going to bring up, can't load the web page yet. All right. So, get the purple hat out. And let's move this over. Ow. Everybody's on the track. That's good. Power the purple hat on. Make sure it gets connected. Make sure it sits all the way down in the flat car. And now we got Bachmann couplers with micro trains. All right. Loco 7990. Loco. It's got a headlight. Okay. I don't know if it needs more of a warm-up than that, but it's not going to get much more than that. So we'll put it back at the back end. Make sure it's going forwards. Okay. Sorry you missed that. I am so sorry. I keep forgetting to switch my camera angle. Okay, so now we connect to the web page on the purple hat. Oh, and I got to do one other thing. We got to go here, File, export the roster entry. And save that. All right, now we can load the JMRI file, UP1590. We are on the main line. We're going to just program it with the regular freight. This is a freight locomotive. It's got the right address. We've got 90 inches track length. And there is our little graph. So now we hit start. Whoops. Yeah, oh, verify this. Yeah, we're going to proceed with the settings we have because it's confused by the fact that it doesn't have a vmin mid max setting. So it's going. Oh, why are you stopping? There it goes. Okay. Well, I don't think it's going to make it to 66 miles an hour. Yeah, no, it's not going to make it to 66. Okay. This is the first locomotive I've had that will not make it to that max speed. Okay. So let's see what the script does with a locomotive that can't make it there. Does it just error out? Don't know. Never had one of these go like this before. Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll abort the test because that's obviously not working. Let's change the max speed to be 45 miles an hour. That'll reach, let's say 50. I'm looking at the little graph. Oh, it'll do 55. Might even make 60. Barely. We'll set it for 55. As we know it can do that. Alright. So it's not going to be able to go as fast as everybody else, but that's okay. Let's back this guy up. Make sure he's going the right direction. Put him in neutral. Okay. Let's start the test again. See if this works. Yep. We don't care that it doesn't have the right bits for throttle control. Oh, come on. Not supposed to stall during the test. And I don't know if this one has forward reverse bias or not. We'll hope it does. Oh, it's not going to make it to 55, I don't think. Oh, it did. Just barely. But it may not beat it by the amount that it wants. It says write CVs, but I'm not happy with the way it finished the test. So we're going to bump it down, its top speed down to 50, which I know it can reach and it can exceed. And we're going to try this again. Okay. One more time. Yeah, we know it doesn't have the right things. You're going. Okay. Backwards. Now that looks like a normal test because it did the slow down and now it'll run back to the beginning of the test track. And then we should see the headlight come on. And if we look at the monitor, the Loconet monitor, should see this get set to 0. Yeah, okay. So now that means it's done. And we can go, yep. So long X not supported, yada, yada, yada. And we can hit write CVs. And we can see it writing all the CV29, yada, yada, yada. Okay, and when it gets the speed of the loco in slot 3, or whatever slot it was using, is set to 0, that means it's done. So let's take a look at how that changed anything. So that's 7% throttle. It actually starts moving at 5% throttle. And while we got it sitting right here, I'm going to pull it off. I'm going to set it on the programming track. Make sure all of its little wheels are on there. Yep. Okay. Then we'll go back to JMRI. Go back to programming track. Up. And we're going to read the speed table. And I'll bet you that this already had values programmed into the speed table. Oh, no. Whoa. Okay. Well, and 255, and then this one we're going to set to 5. We're going to write those changes. And write those changes. Okay. We'll set this and this to 3. Exit and save. All right, let's put him back on the track. And let's see what that did. While we're at it, we'll move this down and shut that off right now. Oh, that could be a problem. Yep, okay. Oops. Okay. So, pretty good slow speed. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, shall we get out the trains it was meant to run with? I don't know that I have many of them set up. I have one. Well, I've got a couple of cars, and I know that they're for the DNRGW, but those are the cars that I have right now. I've got two more that are kits that I need to put together. Let's see if I've got any in my car box. Yes. One, two, well, and I've got two more cars. Oh boy. Sorry, breathing on the microphone. All right. Well, well, well. Come on. Couple together, you guys. Okay. I think that's got it. Almost. Okay. Everybody's on the track. Well, not quite. All right. Now everybody's on the track. Oh. Not enough power to pull 4 cars, eh? Or are you? Oh. Would help if the... Oh, I see. Doggone it. Okay, stop. Oh. The little traction tire has come off, which is a bummer. Okay, it's on there. See if it'll stay on there. There we go. Off and running again. All right. Well, that's cool. That's better than I had hoped with the Bachmann locomotive. Alright, so let's get you back into your package here. Nope, that traction tire popped off again. Okay. Well, I will have to look at that. I'll make a note of it in the roster, and we will have a look-see at what we can do about that. All right, and our last Bachmann that we have to look at is a big boy. Not a big boy, but a 210-2. Kansas City Southern. And I'm going to have to add this to the roster as well. So let me get these guys out of the way, since I've got them all coupled up. Okay. We're going to go straight onto the programming track with him, and we'll read all the sheets. I believe this does have some traction tires as well. Okay. And I'm sure that I do not have a roster entry for this. We're on the programming track. Yeah, no, new loco. Read type from the decoder. We'll tell it it's a 4-function decoder. 7920, yep. KCS 220. Open the Bachmann 210-2. Save that to the roster. We're going to do a read the full sheet on the basic. Go to the motor, read the full sheet. I'm going to set these to 0. Go to the speed control, read the full sheet. Go to the speed table. Let's read the full sheet this time and see what it says. Looks like pretty much a straight line setup. Okay. So we can exit that. Go to programming on main. Let's move this back to the main line. Okay. Right now we're just going to test this, warm it up a little bit. Headlights on. There we go. And I think we'll do this as same as we did with the other one. It'll have a 50, 55 mile an hour top speed. Okay, let's turn on the hat. Okay. Make sure we're in neutral, brake position. All right. Go back to JMRI. Go to KCS 220. File. Hey! Well, it's not really modeling, Tom. It's just fiddling with trains. So, but that counts, right? Export roster entry. Save that. We're programming on the main. Let's get back in. Let's reload this. Yep. Thanks for joining me. Let's reload this page. So basically what I'm doing is fiddling around with some old Bachmanns that I don't remember if I speed matched or not. But since I got this new IOTT stick and the purple hat sensor, and we're going to do it this way. Programming on the main. We're going to set this. Let's load this freight profile. IOTT stick. Hang on, I'll pull it up here and let you look at it. I'm going to make that top speed 50 miles an hour. Yeah, okay. So, basically, let me pull this forward. So, let's see if you can see that kind of, on the camera. So this little orange box with the screen on it is called an IOTT stick. And it has a M4 or M5 processor on it with a screen. And then this purple hat is the board. And that has a Hall effect sensor that reads the magnet that's on the axle of this little car, this little depressed center flat car that I built. And so that gives you real-time readout of the locomotive's speed and direction. Now, because that IOTT stick has a whole computer on it, it has a web server that we're connected to, which is what this web page with this green graph is that I'm looking at here. And this shows you what's going on the car. And it will send commands to JMRI to run this locomotive through all of its speed steps and build up a speed profile. So I run it back to the start of my test track, make sure it's going forward, and then I go over here to my web page and I hit start test, and yes, it knows it's got some problems, and here in a little bit you should see the locomotive start moving. Maybe. It's going real slow, I can see it. And I don't know if you can see on the graph, but I'll make the graph bigger. You can see the little brown line on the graph building up as it hits each speed step. That's the actual speed of the car and the locomotive. So it'll run down here to the end of the track, and then it'll run a second pass. It goes backwards. And what it's looking for is that graph line. Yeah, it's going backwards. The graph line, there's a line right here. That's my top speed. So this line needs to come up and exceed the top speed. Whoops. This line is my top speed, and the line needs to come up and exceed that top speed by a certain amount. So now it's tracking it backwards. Building up the speed profile. It'll go back, and it knows how far it went because you put in the calibration Now it's going to make a second pass to try and get to top speed. And it's above our top speed by 10% or whatever it needs to be. I'm just going to scroll this down. When it finishes the test, you'll see a button here that'll come up that says Write CVs. So if you're watching on the camera, it'll go back to the beginning of the test track. And it should stop, and then the headlight should come on, and now our little button came up, and we can program our locomotive with a 28 speed step table. So that's what I'm doing here. Hit the button. If I look at the monitor, so this is the JMRI monitor. It's monitoring Loconet. And we can see that it's programming the CVs. CV to 29, or 29 should be the last one, but I usually like to wait until the till it reports that the throttle for whatever slot has been set to 0. Then I know for sure that it's done running. Give it another minute. And it's $19 for the little kit for the board, and $30 for the little orange IOTT stick. So still less than the cost of one of those drive-by speedometers. So now that that's done, let's take it for a test drive here. So that's at a 13%, because I'm using Digitrax Zephyr for my throttle. I don't have speed steps, I just have percent, 12%, about, yeah, 11 or 12%, it starts to move. And that's its slow speed performance right there. This little module has a display. You can change the display and it will show you the speed. But my old eyes, the printing on it's so small that I can't see what it says, especially when it's whipping down the track. So let me stop this. Let's pull off the purple hat car. And we're going to shut off the purple hat, save its little battery, because I'm fiddling around here. So set the purple hat off, and let's put the loco back on the programming track, because I like to read back all the values so that I have it in JMRI the way that it's programmed. Okay, we're all on the track. Let's move it down here. Okay, screen 1. I'm not really speed matching the steam engine. I am just doing, so the Bachmann decoders have weird things. They don't have a min, mid, max function for their motor control. So if we look here at the basic speed control, it says don't use speed table, use start voltage and max. That's all you get. So you don't get any fine control over the speed curve at all. So what I've done, this was the speed table that was programmed into it, just basically just a straight line. So it's just basically tuning the locomotive so that I get better low speed performance, and it's not so quite so herky jerky, not a huge ramp up. I want it to be a smooth ramp. So that's what we're doing. I call it speed matching, but it's not really. So let's see. Whoops, we're on the programming track. Probably got to exit this. Yeah, we're on the programming track. And we're going to read the full sheet, and let's see what changes it made to this. Yeah. So it's got a dead spot, and then it bumps up right at the very beginning quite a bit and brings the rest of it down. And that's been my experience with these Bachmanns. They need a lot of voltage to get them to start. And they don't have a kickstart CV or anything like the Digitrax ones do. So as you can see, it changes the speed curve quite a bit from what it was stock. All right. And the one thing I'm going to change is I'm going to change this first speed step. They have it at 0. I'm going to bump it up to halfway between it and the first speed step. And then we'll write those changes. And then we'll exit and save. Or save and close. Then we can put that back on our track. Make sure to get all those tiny N scale wheels on where they belong. And we have a train for it to pull. So I think it works. That made some nice changes to it. So starts off, it's not herky-jerky. As I increase the speed, it's pretty darn smooth. And it's top speed limited. So you've got some control. Now, it's never going to run with anything else because it's not speed matched. But like I told Tom, we're just trying to vary the operating characteristics so that it's a bit more realistic and nicer to. You could do some switching with it. It's not just a throw it on the track and do circles with it at full speed because you've got some control over it. So yeah, you can back into a platform nice and easy. Oh, the only other thing I didn't do was put momentum on it, but I can always go back and do that later. But yeah, I could test the pulling power with it. I have a Western Pacific Bachmann track cleaning car back there at the end of this siding. And this locomotive does have traction tires, but let's see if it'll pull. It should have no problem pulling 7 cars. Let's back it up and we'll get that track cleaning car, which that's what I thought. Nothing can pull that. You need a consist of 3 locomotives to pull that car with that wiper on it. Oh my gosh. That is the hardest pulling car. So basically it's one of these Bachmanns with that little pad on the bottom of it. It's just a hard, it's got a uh, soft cushion to it, but it is just one of the hardest pulling cars I've ever seen. I don't even know if it's on the track, but that's okay. Yeah, I probably should leave these modern cars on the siding. There we go. Yeah, and so I should get busy because let me find them. So I have two more of these. They're roundhouse kits. I need to put these together, but they need coupler conversions, truck conversions, metal wheel sets, and I haven't got all that stuff right now. But then I'll have a nice little excursion train built up. These two, the yellow cars, are Athearn, and then these are the Bachmann, covered observation cars. So I don't know. I think it's a nice little old-timey train. Even though I'm not a steam runner, it's fun to play with. All right, well that gets that done. Unless you want to stick around because you want me to put, let's see. If you want me to put that guy on the track, I will. Oh, yep, Tom took off. Reason to buy more inches. Well, maybe we'll do that one next time. So, all right. We'll see you guys later.